Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan in Traffic. And I want to let everybody know that we are celebrating 10 years of doing this uh, video podcast. So please let your friends know that we have a large bank of videos that you can go back and watch on YouTube, Facebook, or our website, theplannintraffic.com. And tonight we will be talking about streaming television or streaming car shows, actually. Plan in Traffic just hooked up with PowerTube TV, and we will be on Fire TV, YouTube on their channel as one of their shows. So if you get a chance, go over to PowerTube TV and check out all the content they have. They have tons of car shows and car events. Pretty much every type of car situation, racing, customizing, talk shows, which will be us. And I'm also going to have our Busting Out Schoolie channel on there as well. So that's coming later on. But go check it out and come back here and tell us what you think. All right, we'll get the fellas in. Tonight is just the family on. Hey, Jim. Brian.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? Papa Squirrel, where you been? You okay? Checking on you.
Let's see. Where am I at right now? Oh, I'm down near the San Francisco Bay Airport.
Okay.
And
I see the sun's still out where you're at.
yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it? 5 o'clock there? 6 o'clock?
6.
No, it's actually 6:04 here.
Okay.
But
Nice.
I'm hoping that we'll get off the road. No, wait a minute. And I think it's August. I'll be on the road for 8 weeks.
Okay.
We're going down to help a friend of ours because let's just put it this way. Have you tried to find good help now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go. She thought she'd found some good help, and this old boy was, and he's retired military. He's a damn ammo troop, but boy, he sure screwed her over and
Oh, wow.
wouldn't work like she wanted him to, and she just finally said, "Screw it." She said, "If I'm not going to get any work out of him, I might as well not bring him with me." So
Yeah.
we had to drive down to Arizona this April to drive her back.
Wow.
So I got started doing a lot more driving than I want.
Yeah. You gotta get a Tesla truck so it drives itself.
No, I've seen those.
Right answer.
I've seen those self-driving cars, and my daughter taught them for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't trust them. If I ever call a taxi or whatever it is, and one of those driverless cars shows up, I'm just going to look at it and wave.
Yeah.
I ain't getting in one.
I don't even like letting other people drive. I'm nervous when I'm driving somebody else.
That's my problem. The only person I absolutely trust driving is my wife.
Yeah.
Because for one thing, I know that she won't kill me because I'm worth too much money to her alive.
There you go.
It's usually the other way around, though. See, that's what I worry about. I'm better off dead than alive.
Nope.
Yeah.
I looked
babe,
at that.
find this.
I looked at it and said, if I'm going to set up survivor's benefit and all that, I'm going to make sure that I'm worth a lot more alive than I am dead.
There you go. I like that.
Hey, I'm a suspicious, weird individual and proud of it.
Hey, come on with it. So my man Brian got us all hooked up over at Power TV. So
Sounds interesting. I saw that
it's
post.
pretty good. They're making a lot of moves over there. They're hitting all the streaming companies. I believe it's going to be on what's it called? Amazon Fire TV on their channel on YouTube, and I think there's a couple more places. I have to dig deeper, but yeah, he's putting all the pastimes up because he bought all the rights to pastime.
Hopefully, somebody doesn't come along and probably try to squash that.
Yeah, Pinks. If you used to watch Pinks, he has all the Pinks on there. Gil that comes on here from Married to Rods, he's on that channel. There's a lot of people on there. See, I'm looking through now.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice network. Pinks
Well,
all out and Pinks.
I'm waiting to see what happens because if you get something that you can work with and enjoy, somebody's come along and screw it up.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to make any money off of it.
Yeah, well, if you notice, all the big TV, they all went streaming, and then they start charging you crazy money, and you're back up to the cable prices.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Where's Ray at? He must be sleeping. Let me text him.
I don't know. I haven't heard. I was really surprised. I mean, after.
Well, no, you had the wedding.
I know you had the wedding, and I'm really surprised I haven't seen or heard much of it.
Well, I've
Maybe.
seen some stuff on.
He posted a couple pictures.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. But I mean, hey, it's a pretty big event,
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe the wedding gave him a heart attack finally.
maybe
Put him out of his misery.
it'll be like that
He
guy.
gave him the bill for the reception. That's when he had the heart attack.
Well,
Yeah.
did you see that thing where that guy was going out of the country and he had T-Mobile and he went by and checked his carrier out, about, do I need extra, service because I'm out of the country for 3 weeks. And the guy goes, oh no, you're good. So he goes out, he's out for 3 weeks. And he's texting and sending pictures and carrying on phone conversations and enjoying his vacation. Gets back home and he gets a bill. And when he saw the bill, it said $143,000. He thought it was $143. And then, so, he got this bill for $143,000. Because of roaming charges. And he's like, he goes back and goes to, calls T-Mobile, goes in there, and the guy goes, yeah, that's legit, dude. You were, international roaming charges. And he goes, yeah, but I went in and you guys said I was covered. That was one hell of a way of being covered. So and he's got this whole thing now fighting.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I don't believe anything a phone company tells me.
Oh, well, hell, I know that.
Yeah, tell them put it in writing because they'll say, "Oh, that guy didn't know what he was talking about."
It doesn't even matter if it's in writing. It doesn't mean. I mean, unfortunately, we don't own anything. But we're not going to get political on this. But we don't own anything. We're just here for the ride.
Yep.
And it all depends on how you want to make the ride: hard or rough, or easy and smooth.
That is true. That is the truth.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I could only imagine. Can you imagine open that bill up and see that bill? Woof.
Yeah.
That's more than I own my house right now. Finally.
Yeah.
So keep that up. So this Power TV thing sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah. There's the one that Lou and his partner's doing. Gone and wait, what is it?
0 to 60.
0 to
0
60.
to 60, yeah.
So it's the same principle.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's going to start going because when I talk to some of the TV guys, they're all heading towards streaming because these TV shows are beating them up.
Oh, yeah,
they're
man.
working them to death, don't pay them anything. And they're getting all the money from the advertisers. It's
They get all the content. They get the rights to the content.
yeah. So a lot of people are going towards the streaming.
I've
Like
read
you
a
said, though,
couple
they're going to try to get their fingers in there.
I've read a couple places where cable's dying
Oh yeah.
because all the services want too much money, and so every time the service wants more money, cable then has to charge their customers more. The customers like, screw you, I'm cutting the cord. So now everyone's going streaming. So now all of a sudden you see all the streaming rates are all going up, and now you're almost paying as much as you were for cable.
Yeah, before you know it, you're paying the same as cable. If you get all the different channels like Discovery, Hulu, you pay for Netflix. Each one of those is 10, 12, 15 bucks. Before you know it, you're up to $100 again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I know,
the
maybe because Motor Trend's going all streaming.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah,
I
we'll
can't
talk
get
about
Mac
that.
TV because it's a premium service and they want $15 a month. It's like, no, I'm already paying $300 a month for cable. Go screw yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I know they got to make money, man, but they really put the screws to us.
Well,
Yeah, but don't.
Go on, Papa Scroll.
I was going to say, yeah, but you don't have to make money off of one person.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. I mean, there's a whole. I mean, I'm all about making money, but when you just degreed and just screwing somebody to death, that's just it's tough. I deal with it every day, so
Yeah.
it's crazy. But it was funny after we had Dan Shore on, and when he talked about that whole thing with him fighting about his rights. I mean, his residual pay or whatever.
Mhm.
They strung him along saying, you're going to get paid, you're going to get paid, you're going to get paid. And then at the end of the day, they said, we ain't paying you. And they run the hell out of his stuff. I've never had Motor Trend back on TV again. I've never watched another show off of it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Man.
Ain't missing much.
No, but like I said, I'm unfortunately,
You got to stand for something. Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty tough about that. And some guys, some people, that's like we have a inter-county connector, and it runs, most of our stuff around here runs north to south. We have very few roads that run east to west. And the ones that do, I live on one. It's a 2-lane. It's bombarded. It's all day long. It's traffic, up and down. So they built this inter-county connector. I guess it's 3 lanes across. So it's like 6 lanes, and it goes across the county, east to west. And that was great. But then they want to make it a toll road. And I was like, there's no way. I'm not driving on it. And people look at me, and I said, man, I pay enough in taxes, and now they want to charge me, And I know people, I mean, this is so unbelievable. I know people that take that and they say, oh, it's so great. It takes me 15 minutes where it would take 45 minutes to get across.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. But they're literally paying $300 a month.
Yeah.
Because they drive at 5 days a week or 6 days a week back and forth from work.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you already pay enough in the taxes, and now you're paying another $300 to $350.
You paid for him to put the street in.
Yeah.
And
that's almost about as bad, the bridge that collapsed out here,
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
They got the bridge that collapsed out here, and now, they're saying, oh, they're going to have the taxpayers pay for it. And I'm like, well, what happened to the company's insurance?
Yep.
That's why we have insurance, right? I'm sorry, but this, insurance is a gamble. Either we use it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys charge a hell of a premium. And now I heard that they're in court about trying to get a cap on their liability. I don't know if that's actually, like I said, this is what I've heard, but but hey, if I go out and run into the side of the house, are the taxpayers going to pay for the house? Me running into the house?
Right.
No, you are.
Yeah, well, my insurance. That's why I pay big money for insurance.
Yes.
And I don't know where Hey, wait a minute! I said we weren't going to get political. Come
Oh
on, man.
yeah,
Cars. You guys got me
It
sidetracked.
doesn't take long. It doesn't
back to
take long.
cars.
I'll
Back to
mute
cars.
myself and let me just rant for about 15 more minutes, and I'll come back. Man, I need a.
Yeah, I gotta listen to your rant.
That's what happens when you drive around all day in a tool truck by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
talking
these
to me.
Yeah,
So, what you guys think of Casey last week?
that was awesome. Man.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, man. There was I had 10 million questions, but it's like I didn't want to get her I was put her in a headlock and make her answer them or something. I don't know, dude. There was a lot of questions. There was a few more that I said, it was awesome.
Yeah, we'll get her back on. I'm talking to a couple companies. I'm gonna get a lot of the companies that we use or we want to use on. So
Yeah.
they're all excited about coming on. It's just time schedules are especially now that the summer's coming and they're getting ready for shows and everybody's
it's tough.
Busy. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely run out of time pretty quick.
Yeah, it seems like it just comes real fast.
Yeah, time
flies when you're having fun.
Supposedly. I don't know.
All the fun we're having, right?
Yeah. So, but so far it hasn't been too bad with the like I said, of course they really don't talk much about the bridge, but I don't know. Surprised we haven't seen more.
I was also going to ask you because you live in the land of HO2 lanes.
Yeah.
High occupancy toll lanes. They got the lane over here that's free, but takes you an hour and a half. Or you could pay a little more and get there in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, that's you got to watch the first time that happened to me the first time because I'm like, man, I didn't, I just jumped in the lane and I'm heading down the road, and luckily because it was one of my daughter's soccer games, so I had a load full of kids in the car, so because I think they also make it you have to have 3 people or something.
Yeah.
And I'm cruising along and I'm just clipping along and I do something. I guess I had my phone on and, the directions said something about being a toll thing. And I was like, what do you mean this is a toll thing? And of course I don't have an Easy Pass. I don't have nothing. So I get a pretty good bill, a couple days later, I get a pretty good bill. And, that was really the start of, especially after they got that intercounty connector and they opened that up and they all do it. They all do it, man. They give you 2 weeks of driving on that without paying. It's free. And everybody gets on that. And man, I tell you, when that thing is up, dude, you get that bill. You're like, I don't think so.
I tell you what, the Easy Pass is nice to have. When I was driving truck, man,
yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, it saved me a lot of, especially going up into New York.
Yeah.
One time I was going on a Sunday afternoon, and we got stuck in traffic about a mile from the George Washington Bridge. We were there from 2:00 in the afternoon to 11:00 at night.
What the hell for?
This is like
it's right George Washington Bridge. If you're not from New York, you'll never know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
9/11. It was after 9/11, and they were checking all the cars coming in.
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah. Back in the day, they had troops out on all the bridges, and they would check all the trucks.
Yeah.
Every truck I went by got pulled over and got looked at.
So I got to the bridge. I probably would have been there another hour, but I had the Easy Pass, so I got to go around.
Oh, okay.
That, man, we would have been there to 12:00. Me and my son, we were stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was like back in the day when we had the DC Sniper.
Oh,
and
they're from here.
Huh?
They're from Youngstown.
Yeah. And they were in my neighborhood. I mean, And that's when somebody said they thought it was a box truck. So I can't even tell you how many times I was pulled over and searched. And, like every time, and I was like, dude, I wanted to put like a sticker on the truck saying I was just searched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would get down the road and then you get pulled over again. Or, I'd be at a stop. Of course, with me stopping, the truck would be stopping, a cop would roll up and, he'd say, what's in the back? And you say tools. And he's like, what do you mean tools or equipment? And it was just incredible. And the funniest part about it was that's when I first started. So I had a trainer with me and his name was Mario. And he was a big guy, not very tall, but, he was a big guy. And he was from down in Miami. He was Cuban. And he showed up to the house and he's wearing this bright yellow work shirt. And he's, he's in his dark khakis. And, he's all hyped up. And I come out and I'm wearing a gray work uniform, And he's like, Brian, you got to be like the main event. You got to, when you walk in the shop, they got to know where. And I looked at him and I said, Martin, do you have any idea where you're at? And he's like, what do you mean? I said, have you watched the news? And I said, no. I said, we got a sniper running around, man. There's no way I'm going to look like Big Bird like you. Because he's wearing and I want to tell you something. He never got out of the truck. He had his jacket on and he had it all buttoned up and he sat down in the seat. I said, Mario, we're coming in the truck. He goes, no, I think you got this. He never got out of the truck. I tell you, man, that was the funniest thing.
Oh no, he's a target.
Yeah, I said, man, you look
but
like
he was smart.
Yeah,
he was smart.
He was all freaked out, man. I said, do you know where we're at? We got a DC sniper running around here, and you look like Big Bird. Man,
yeah, those idiots were from my town. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
I haven't figured those guys out because do you really think you're going to change anything by killing people?
No.
It's just unbelievable.
Some people just their idea,
and they do it to innocent people. They'll do it to somebody that's bad. They get people that you know what I mean.
I wish they
would. It was funny. Where they got caught wasn't too far. It wasn't too far. It was 30 miles out from wherever they were. I mean, it was out in the my old stomping grounds of sitting in the field doing stuff in the middle of the night. And there was a place they were sitting out there. And really an interesting time. I'll tell you, it was crazy because I had two. I think it was two. I don't think it was three. Two. I know two definitely. Where somebody had died. It was a shop. It was one was a gas station and shot. And the craziest thing is, after that place was never the same again. It was, and it's changed hands like 3 times over. But it's just so weird about having that label or on it. I don't want to really say label, but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
On that. But that was a crazy time, man. You didn't want to do anything, and I'm just glad. I was afraid that they start shooting into somebody's house or something. We had like where my girls' daycare was, they had the windows all blacked out and all kinds of crazy stuff, man.
Awful. So Tyler and the boys are heading up to Canada to do their jump.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the guys. They work hard to get all that stuff ready.
Yeah, that's I saw something the other day on the Dukes of Hazzard, jumping, And I meant to try to remember that name because I was going to ask Tyler if he knew the guy.
Oh, I seen that. It was from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah.
that.
It was just on. It was on one of those reel things.
Yep, that's what I seen it too. Yeah.
And then they had another one I thought was kind of funny because they had a guy, I can't remember who it was. It was a guy that I follow, and he saw General Lee, parked out front of a place. And he was like, I don't know if that's a replica or if that's one of the real cars or what. And then he had a cut in with Bo Duke saying, we never had black interior. That's the giveaway because the car had a beige interior in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's everybody, has it black because, who's gonna have an orange car with beige interior?
Yeah.
Well,
Tyler would be the one to talk to. He knows the history pretty strong. Him and Raymond. Raymond is the one that does the actual jump.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was kind of interesting because technically, I mean, like I said, those TV cars, we used to have one of the shops I go to, they had one. I don't know what show, what was that? It was a Camaro, like a 67 or 68 Camaro. What was that show? What was that?
Walking Tall?
Was it Walking Tall? Did they have a Camaro?
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of the show, but it was, the guy had bought it, and it was kind of crazy because it had, I mean, from 15 feet, it looked really good. But when you walked up on it, you're like, oh my God, because it had it was a flat black car, but it had like right behind the door, it had a U-bolt bracket bolted on to it, painted black. So I guess where they could hook a camera up to it, so it would show inside the window, And it would had all kinds of weird things on. I was like, dude, what the hell, Buy this thing. It's got all kinds of hooks and clips and all kinds of stuff on it. So,
well, now that they got these little bitty pro cameras, the small ones.
Oh yeah, they don't need half that stuff.
No, they can get some great pictures.
Yeah,
GoPros, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the back in the old day when they had the car sit on a trailer and they'd be driving down the road with it on a trailer with all the cameras, because the cameras were so big. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's a big difference now. I was watching something the other day about they were filming something. So,
did you see the post Tyler put up? He had the General Lee on a trailer.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
They were going to a trailer company. I guess they were getting a new trailer.
Oh,
but, they had the General Lee on it, and it's actually sitting on a Crown Vic, and it looks really good.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah, I have to try to find the video. But Justin just put up nice looking Crown Vic. I mean, you can't tell. It looks like General Lee.
Huh.
Well, people have said that on TV show they were crashing them so quick they would just kind of put them together where 10 feet from it you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I saw something that was like the movie Christine with the
Chevy.
The
Fury. 57
Fury, the 58 Chrysler. Was it a Plymouth or a Chrysler?
Thought it was a Plymouth, but
yeah.
Don't quote me.
Christine?
Yeah, Christine.
It wasn't a 57 Chevy?
No.
Oh, Chevy, no. Definitely not.
Nope. It was a 58 Fury.
15. Wait, which one was the Chevy?
I don't want to think about it being haunted and killing you. That's what. Christine was taking all of her owners out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Took all, yeah, it was great. There was this when we were during that time period there was a junkyard down the road from us, and they were two brothers, and you had George Wise, Dollar George, and Ellis Wise. They were brothers, and they had two different lots, but Dollar George had a '58 Plymouth sitting in there. He had a Christine, and everybody that went into that place wanted to try to buy it, and he would say no. That thing sat there. I don't know whatever happened. Probably rotted back into the ground. That car sat there. He had a front clip from the General Lee. He had the same Charger. That front clip sat out there. He had this little garden of these cars, and everybody drooled over them that they were trying to buy them, and he'd say no, not for sale.
That makes me so mad that people let cars rot away.
Yeah.
There was a guy that had one around the corner from me. It was a 64 Impala. It was, it didn't have a nice paint job or anything. It was just, normal. Mm-hmm. And he let that car rot away, and he would cuss you out if you stopped to ask him about it.
Yeah.
And he let it rot away, and then one day I seen it on the back of a tow truck going to the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all guilty
Joe
of it.
Oprah on a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about stuff like that. He's like, dude, just sell it. Your family's not going to know what to do with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's right. It's like, what are you doing? What do you think you're going to do with 50 junk cars in your backyard and you're 80 years old?
All right, here you go.
Oh yeah, look at that. And that's a Crown Vic?
Yep.
Wow. That's it's a good cover up.
Yeah. All the parts are AMD. All the metal.
Wow.
Okay.
That's like what was it? The guy that did that what was that Gumball Rally? And he had that Audi. I can't remember what model it was. But he had an Audi, I guess it was I don't know what it was. But he trimmed it out to look like a state police Ford Crown Vic or what, he made it, and like I said, when you first glance at it, it looked like an undercover cop car. It looked like a Ford, that's what that was. He disguised the car. And like I said, the first glance of it, you looked at it and you're like, yeah, that's what it is. And then you realize, it was Audi. It wasn't a Ford.
That's some pretty good disguising then, because, Audis don't look anything like a Ford.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Around here, we have, the cops are all running. Most of them are running around in those Ford Explorers.
Yeah.
And of course, it's funny. You get yourself a Audi, like a Q5, SUV wagon, and it rolls up, and you're like, at first glance, because you see, because of the way the bar is, it looks like the light bar going across the top, and you're like, man, is that a cop? And then you realize that's that one of those Q7s or whatever running up on you. But it's funny how you first look. And then it's actually kind of funny because I never paid attention until Chris from Ray's show on the Motor Mount there. Because he's got an ex-trooper car, Explorer, and they don't have any roof rack. They don't have a roof rack on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I started looking at ours, and he's right. They don't have a roof rack on it. So they just have that light bar going. Of course, now the light bar is so thin going across the top of it. It kind of all blends in. Actually, our police cars now, they got ghost decals on them. Ghost flames.
Oh yeah.
They got ghost flames. They can't even see the markings on them now until you get into the light.
California's been going to cars that are a little bit harder to see, and I dislike that.
Yeah.
Not that I plan to break the law, but once in a while I might have to get home in a hurry.
You might bend it a little.
Yeah.
Well, at least if you see a cop, you slow down. So that's a deterrent. So if they hide that they're cops, then
Well, the funny part is when you take that whole talk, and again, like they run around trying to hide, but they got to run their blue lights on.
Mhm.
So you see all these blue lights running around at night because they got to show that they're here, but meanwhile they're trying to hide the car. So it's kind of, kind of funny. It's the again, that's the politics of it. We can't stay far away from that. You guys want to get me in trouble? Get down that hole there.
Yeah, wait for the after show.
Yeah, you gotta wait till until the black Suburban pulls up in my driveway.
Oh, I'm not going to get into those.
Yeah.
We
Go ahead.
do what?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, we see a lot of them down here in California.
Yeah.
Government workers and all.
I was going to
California,
ask you, Papa Squirrel, how's your shows going? Have you been doing some shows? No, you're
Oh,
Crafting?
nah, we only did about one so far.
Yeah.
We've cut it way back. I'm getting old. The wife hurts. My shoulder hurts from the wreck. I don't think I'll be in this much longer.
Well, tell Debbie I bought a 3D printer, and it's also a CNC machine and a laser.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's nice.
So I'm gonna upgrade the laser though, so I could cut leather and bigger pieces of wood and stuff. Just the laser that it came with, it's like 20 watts or no, it's like 10 watts. But I can upgrade to a 20 or 30 watt laser, and it'll cut through thick stuff.
We'll have to see what it does, because we're looking at getting something to add to our laser, because as it is, all we've got is a 30-watt laser that'll cut quarter-inch leather or something like that. So,
Yeah. The add-on is another I think $400. So I'm not in a rush to buy it.
no, not unless you can make money out of it.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna learn the machine and all the programs, and then I'll upgrade later once I know I got it down.
Yeah.
So I'm burning something up.
Well, I tell you what, I wish these people with the gas taxes would play around a little bit, because that's hurting us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the prices now out there?
Diesel's $4.55 a gallon still.
Here it's I think it's down to 390s somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy here because right now diesel is $3.65, but gas is up over $4.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's funny because here it'll go a couple weeks and it'll switch around where gas will come down, but diesel will go through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed diesel's been more than gas for a while.
Yeah, well,
It's been that way a long time.
it's been like that. I mean, it used to be diesel was cheap. I mean, diesel was
Real cheap.
always cheap. And then of course, my whole thing, and we're not going down this road, but unfortunately we will. What moves America? What keeps everything going? What heats houses? What keeps planes in the air? What flies helicopters? What moves the boat across the water? It's diesel. And it was all cheap, and that's why they used it. And of course, now somewhere along the line, somebody needed to buy another townhouse or a playroom or 2 more girlfriends, and now they had to raise the price up. I got to stop because I think I heard an SUV pull in my driveway. I just got a notice on the Ring camera. So, but
Yeah.
You
I
got a
don't
drone.
know. I think the inner chassis John is coming out. I don't know. It was actually kind of funny, you guys. I'll show you here. I got unfortunately, and something that wasn't really talked about, but when OJ, the Juice, died, last week, I guess it was, right?
Yep.
The funny part was, and I didn't realize I had done this on that day, but my printer, don't tell me I got rid of the picture. Oh man, the picture's worth 1,000 words.
If you don't have it.
Oh man, I can't believe. What did I do with that? I'm sorry, guys. I thought I could be more prepared.
You're right.
So the printer was acting up, and there's one thing that I do not have any patience for is that printer. So the printer took a fail off the counter in the tool truck. And I don't know, a couple months ago, somebody left a steak knife. I guess they were using for something on the tool truck. And I took the steak knife and I stabbed the printer. and it sat in the middle of the here we go.
Or teach you to talk back, right?
Yeah, well, see, here's the printer, and let's see if we get it good enough. And there's the steak knife sticking out of the printer right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that sat in the middle of the truck. So everybody that got on the truck had to step over this printer, and they would come in. I said, "Excuse the body." That's what I would say. And of course, the translation and all the little Spanish guys I got, they were really scared of me that day. I had a great collection day, and then everybody stared at the printer, but nobody asked any questions. So I told later on, then that happened on the day that we learned that OJ passed. So I said, the spirit of OJ must have come through, because I took out the printer. And but the funny part was that particular day, I don't know why, but one of my customers, his son was with him at work, and he was probably like 8 years old, I guess, around there. And his dad had said, "Hey, you want to go out to the tool truck?" And the kid was like, "Oh yeah, man, let's go out to the tool truck," And he runs out, and I said, "Watch out." And that kid was completely fascinated of the knife sticking in the printer. And he kept looking at me, kept looking at the printer and trying to figure everything out. So that was, like I said, last week. So today I went in there, and the customer said, "Man, when we got home, the kid unloaded and told mom all about the dead body on the truck. She wanted to know what that meant, and he had to explain it was the printer. And of course, she was more puzzled why the dude was stabbing the printer. You know what I'm saying? So, that kid, that was a lasting impression on that poor guy. So,
yep.
It's never a dull moment on the tool truck.
Hey, Brian, I got a question for you. I was looking for to cut foam. Do they make what's the name of the tool that you guys sell that cuts like foam cushions and stuff?
I would have to look into that, but I think they just use a regular saw with like a 32 teeth, something fine.
Like a longer. You can buy a longer blade.
Yeah, if you have one of those, I call them vibrators. The air saw, and you could put a hacksaw blade in, like a 32 teeth, the fun, and then just use that like the turkey cutter.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for them. I was at Harbor Freight. I was looking online. I was like, "What is it called?"
Yeah, but like a regular air saw. And you could probably, I tell you one thing, you might get a few strange looks, but you could probably find a carver, like a turkey you used to carve on a turkey.
That's what I ended up
Yep.
buying.
and use a bread knife, because a bread knife is a fine cut, not a coarse cut type cut, and you could probably shave that foam right on down in a heartbeat. That's probably what I would use.
Yeah, I bought a turkey cutter, but yeah, I had to see where I can get the blades, the bread blades.
Yeah, because it should have. If you bought like I said, they usually come with two blades. They come with a meat cutting blade, and then they would come with a bread blade, and that's what I would. The one for the bread is a fine tooth cut, and it won't tear up the foam,
So,
the seat foam.
so I'm gonna start working on the couch foam, and then my two front seats. I'm gonna recover those, but I'm gonna pump them up real big so they're like a couch while I'm driving down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do we have on there? I was talking about the when they were making the seats about the different texture. Gil, right? Yeah. Because I know he had one where, they were talking about how they use lawn chair, right? They cut the centers out and they use that lawn chair for structure or something.
Yeah, that webbing. I bought
The webbing.
I got some.
Yeah, it's very similar to like what a lawn chair. I thought that was kind of crazy, but
Yeah, they use it in here it is.
you trying to play Ray?
I think he is.
Oh,
Yeah, he's not here, so I gotta be him. Yeah, it's pretty tough. I'm gonna use this on my couch, on the seat and the back.
On the bus, right?
Huh?
On the bus.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I had a couple of beds I had to cut apart that were foam, and that's what I wound up doing is a plain kitchen. Well, one of the motorized kitchen knives.
Yeah.
I just cut them slice them into pieces, throw them in the garbage can, and since we have to take our garbage to the dump, I took it and hit it. When I got to the dump, nobody was looking at me. I dumped all that shit overboard. You're not supposed to do that here in California.
Yeah.
Not supposed
You gotta
to do a
pay
lot of things
extra.
in California.
Yeah,
No, you're not supposed to do anything in California.
that's why they don't want to catch me. I mean, I don't want them to catch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watching some of the shows that build cars and stuff like that, when they get to the interior guys, usually the interior guys, if he's cutting the foam, he's using what looks like a carving knife.
Yeah.
But I seen actually I think it was on Gil's channel. He puts out a lot of videos. I probably should have just called him and asked him, but they had like an air knife.
Okay. Yeah.
They
long
usually, like I said, they use an air saw, and then instead of a regular 6-inch or 3-inch blade, they use a hacksaw blade, which is 12 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that.
And actually, I have a few guys. I do it also. I take a hacksaw blade and I cut it in thirds, and that's what I use in my air saw. I don't buy the blades. I just use
really?
because it's cheaper. You could buy a 10-pack of hacksaw blades and have over 30 blades compared to buying a 5-pack for $30. You know what I'm saying?
And they fit in the slot.
Yep.
You gotta notch them or anything.
Sometimes you gotta notch it a little bit, but again, and then like I said, if you need a 3-inch blade or a 5-inch blade, you just cut the hacksaw blade to where you want it, and trim the end, put it in, and you're good to go, man. Like I said, it's a whole hell of a lot cheaper. And
let me grab mine to make sure I'm thinking of the right tool.
yeah, I think mine still. That's what I use to cut the exhaust off on the Audi. Just put a hacksaw blade in there and start cutting.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll work.
I mean, like
Hey,
I said,
of course, I had to get fancy because I bought a Harbor Freight air saw and put saw blades in it and cut through my exhaust.
yep,
Yeah.
that right
Oh,
there.
so I'm looking at it now, and it's about the size of a hacksaw. That's,
Yep.
okay.
And sometimes on a hacksaw blade, you just might have to cut. Like I said, if you take that blade out and lay it on a hacksaw blade, and if you have to trim it a little bit,
Yeah.
you just grind it down a little bit. Some guys will actually put a hole in it, so when they put the sink hole, the Allen's thing in there,
Yeah.
it holds it a little better. But
I
And
didn't
then you-
know.
and then you can cut. You can have 12 inches, 8, 6, or whatever you need.
Yeah. So I don't. Okay. Thanks. See, that's why.
I won't charge much for that, Lewis.
So now I got my tool. All right. Cool.
Tonight's tooltip.
Yeah. Tooltip.
Yeah.
I mean, I should do a show about that, of all the different hacks, because I would have never thought about putting that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, some guy, like I said, I mean, I got guy, like I said, sometimes sometimes I might lose $10, but I know that in the long run, most guys appreciate learning that,
Right. You
So,
save
look
some
at
money,
that.
especially now. What's up with the balloon?
Yeah, I don't know, huh?
Good question.
Those birthday balloons?
Apparently, it's not my birthday.
I like
It's
balloons.
I've
It's
heard
got to
of
be
people using
somebody's
this.
birthday.
What is that?
It's the electric fisherman. It's like a fillet knife.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah?
they're like $26 at Cabela's. They sell them at like Meyer and stuff too.
Like the
How long
pocket
is the
fisherman from Romco.
Yeah.
How long is the blade?
What does this say? Looks like you can get different ones. You get like a 9-inch blade. I'm not an interior guy. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
In the chat, the planned traffic chat, Brian and Ed are together. I think
Yeah, I saw that they just sent out a picture.
Yeah, they put, we're watching you.
Hey, I was talking about how I'm going to be famous now that I'm on Power Tube TV.
Yeah, buddy.
Sounds good.
Dude,
PowerTube TV now. Oh wow!
Yeah.
You're only seeing
Yeah.
the top of my head. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. We didn't see that shine.
I haven't gotten the wax out yet. All right, there we go.
So, Brian and Ed, where are you guys at that you're together? That's the question.
I don't even think they know.
Yeah, and why was I invited?
Right.
That's even
That's
a
the bigger question.
They go to Tennessee. They go to Austin. Where'd they go?
I don't know. I know Brian was in Vegas the other day. And here's a better question. Why are you guys not on here with me?
That's a good question.
There you go. All right.
At least they tuned in.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
True.
Got that going
What's up,
for 'em.
Terry? Justin, what's good?
Another day of fun, man.
superstar.
I hope. 'Cause brother about to be unemployed in a couple months.
Unemployed? What do you mean?
Retired.
Oh,
There's a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm ordering a whole bunch of ski masks, so watch out.
uh-oh.
Ski masks and
Just-
duct tape,
Just don't label them for what you plan to use them for.
right?
Just put the mask out. Don't say bank job. store job. Keep them anonymous.
He just likes to do a lot of skiing. A lot.
A lot.
I seen a funny reel the other day where the guy's on a elevator and he's wearing his COVID mask. This guy walks in and he has a beanie on and he goes, "Do you have a mask?" And the guy pulls down the beanie. It's a ski mask.
Well, I keep waiting on the next one to come up because it's, it is heading towards winter again. There's supposedly another one out there that makes COVID look tame. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
Tyler put a picture of the General Lee on the ramp in the
They're jumping tomorrow at noon.
in the chat.
That car looks good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just showed it a little bit ago before you guys came on. How good it looks.
Yeah,
I walked in the shop and I saw this car. It wasn't painted yet, but the only way I knew it wasn't a real Charger was because they didn't have the hood on there. It was a Ford 4.6. But if they had that hood on there, you would think that was a real Charger because the only difference in size is like less than an inch in width.
Oh, really?
The Charger panels fit perfect on that car,
It's crazy.
on a Crown Vic.
Yeah, it looks spot on.
I'm telling you.
did you ever read how many cars they went through when they were making Dukes of Hazzard?
A little under 300.
Yeah, Tyler was telling us three something. Yeah.
A lot.
Now, I believe that let's go with all the body styles, that started in 68. 68, I think there was like 90 something thousand made. 69, there were, I'm gonna say like 50,000, and I think in 70 there was maybe that 60,000 made. So they're out there. They're out there if you really want one, but you're gonna buck up no matter what. But they blame the show. The show only wrecked 300.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's 300. Or is it like 250 and they just bandaged up enough, like 50 of them, just so they can jump them.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The same thing. Like when you said 300, I was like, "Is that 150 twice?"
Yeah. How many did they recycle?
Yeah, because I know when I watched something about that, they were talking. That was like when they made the Bullet movie. Because it was only two cars. It was a big block car and a small block car, and they were talking about after something, they're out there with a welder, welding that thing back together. I can only imagine how much beating and jumping on in San Francisco, welding that car back together a dozen times.
Beating the snot out that car.
Oh, yeah.
Well, while we're talking about TV and movie cars and limited production type scenarios, how much of the Ferris Bueller effects do you guys know?
Only what you tell me.
Only what you
Only
told
what
us.
you've told us.
Oh, okay.
That's another one. Because even you said, hell, half the time that car wasn't even done when they were filming it or putting it together.
Well, like I've said before, there were 3 cars used in that movie, and myself and pretty much the rest of the world was under the impression that the one car that went out the back window was, completely destroyed, went to the salvage yard, crushed, never to be seen from again. Apparently resurfaced about 9 months ago.
Huh.
Oh,
So-
the GT California?
Yes.
Wow.
So, well, no, they weren't GT Californias. They were Monana replica cars. They were all kit cars. There was a real car shown in the movie, but it was not. It wasn't part of the movie. It was just some of the pictures that they showed of a Ferrari engine and whatnot. But I got a trip going back to Maryland. In just over a week or so, I'm going to head back up that way.
Are you bringing the motors up?
I can't talk too much more, but there'll be something in the background for you all to see in a couple weeks.
Okay.
We like that.
Don't go hitting no bridges.
I'm more concerned about the deer hitting me while driving back up to Maryland. Last time I did that, deer ran into the side of the car.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
You'll have that.
Yeah, you'll have that.
We get that up here all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I see them all the time, man, every day.
I had a pit bull jump into the side of the car once. There's this
Man.
part of town way south. They call it Dog Patch, and I guess a lot of people it's a real rundown part of town, but I guess there's a lot of people that dump dogs out there. And I was out there, and as I'm driving up, I see this about 5 or 6 pit bulls in a line on the side of the road. And I'm thinking, you know what? I might want to roll my window up. And I roll it up. And right as I'm going by them, they start chasing next to the door of the car. And I'm looking out the window and I wave. And the lead dog just throws his body right into the side of the car. Just never seen anything like that before.
Damn.
Crazy.
I'm sure glad I rolled my window up, because it would have not aimed for the door. It would have came through the window.
We had
Many,
a
many
deer do
moons
that one time.
ago, I had put all new sheet metal on my Mustang. Fenders, front valance, rear valance, the whole 9 yards. All factory NOS stuff. Paid a mint. Went up to Carlisle, which is this weekend, which I won't be able to go, which I'm really upset. But went up, bought all this NOS stuff, came home, put it on the car, driving to school. There's this dog sitting on the side of the road. And I stopped. The dog's sitting there looking at me. And I said, okay. So I started going. The dog runs out. Run over the dog. Goes completely underneath the car. Tears all the sheet metal, all the front up. Gets up, shakes off, and walks away.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get to school, and the car is mangled. The front valance is mangled. Of course, where it was bolted to the fenders, tucked the fenders in. The rear valance was all torn out. I was so pissed off. So on the way home, that dog was sitting in the yard. I wanted to drive through the yard and really run that dog over because it took out all that metal. That was terrible. Hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Poor kid working 2 jobs on a bicycle. I mean, a paper route and everything, dude. Wiped my car all out.
I'm sorry.
Crazy.
That damn dog. So
For him just to get up and just, okay. And walk
yeah, I
away.
know. And actually, the worst part was when it rolled up underneath the car, the shifter even bumped up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a rough ride for that dog. I was so mad. The dog gets up and shakes off and walks across the road.
Yeah, you gotta let him live. If he lived through that, you gotta let him live. What is it? They
Well, I
said
know.
like if you try to execute someone like 3 times electric chair, they still live, they get to walk or something like that. You
Yeah.
gotta let the dog walk.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I was so mad. And
I got
a
a
buddy of
story.
mine that was going to school, he was behind and he couldn't believe it, man. Ripped all that sheet metal all up. Man, I was so mad.
I got a story for you. My brother owned a club in New Jersey. So he had pit bulls, and they're like guard dogs.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, I don't know why, the police raided his club. And one of the dogs jumped off the roof and went after the cops, and they shot it like 5-6 times.
Wow.
And that dog lived and had pups.
oh God.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
the cops took the pups. They're like, man, this dog is,
Yeah.
dog. So they took the puppy.
Wow.
If that dog was that tough, they want that dog because ain't nothing going to stop that
Mhm.
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
And they were supposed to be raiding a club 2 streets over.
Oh,
Oh God.
Yep.
Yep.
So my brother got paid on that one.
Wow.
That's a tough dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a deer. I was in my Quattro going down the Beltway coming off, and I had a deer running across, and his head came into the window because the window was down, and the head came down, and of course the deer hit me and the B pillar, but all the snot came out of his nose all over. I was covered all in it. Tore up, and the deer spun around, and this lady, she was in a caravan, hit the deer. I mean, smacked right in the deer, totaled the caravan, dude. Wiped out the deer. She gets out, she's all freaked out because she thought it was a person, you know, because I pulled over. And she's like, "Did I hit you?" Because, of course, I got this shit all over me. all over. And she's like, "I didn't mean to hit you. I didn't mean to hit you." I said, "No, it was a deer." And this deer guts, and I mean, it just tore the whole front end up. Man, I tell you one thing. You want coming home? I came home. I had gone up to get parts, tools at a warehouse. I got home, and, man, I smelled so bad. And my wife said, "Where the hell have you been?" And I'm like, "I got this deer," and she's like, "I don't want to hear any more stories, dude."
March your butt in that shower.
But man, I tell you, that was like, oh, that was terrible. And there was, when its neck got snapped or hit, man, it just like spit and snot, and it was all over, dude. It was talk about like an afterbirth coming out, dude. It was terrible, man. God. It's never a dull moment, man. You wait till my movie comes out, you'll never believe it.
I was coming back from Erie. We went and picked up some cars at Erie Auto Auction.
Yeah.
So we're coming back down Route 11 off of 90. And it's real dark, man. It's a dark street or freeway. So my driver was behind me in his truck, and hold on, my ring camera went off. So we're
the black SUV.
No, it's a white one. My daughter. No. So we're driving down the thing. So I see this deer on the side of the road, but he was like laying over the white line, like half his body was over the white line. So I'm rolling, right? So then the CB comes on. "Hey, was something in the road?" And I was like, "Yeah, you didn't see that guy walking?"
Oh man!
Oh my God, I think I hit him. So we pulled over. I was like, "Man, it was a deer," but it was blood all the way down the side of my truck, all the way down on the car, all the way down the trailer.
Man.
Yeah.
I was like, "You didn't see that guy walking?" He's like, "No, man, I was asleep."
Wow. You, Louis Lee, are an asshole.
He was like, "Oh my God, I think I hit him."
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
All right, guys, time for me to bail. I gotta get going. Gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. I got meetings.
Take care, Jim.
All the meetings.
Take care, Terry.
Take care, everyone.
See you, Terry.
Have a
All
good
right, Terry,
weekend.
we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
My wife was driving to pick up our daughter in town. She picked her up and was coming back and saw this buck chasing a doe down the hill. So she stops and pulls in the ditch. That damn buck ran right into the side of the car and broke the mirror and something else. So she calls up our insurance agent and said, "A deer hit us." And our insurance agent said, "Don't you mean you hit the deer?" "No, the son of a bitch hit us."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was hard for her to. Now she believes it because so far we've managed to hit 4 deer right outside of our house.
Yeah, they'll tear your car up, man.
You got to get one of those bull bars like they have in Australia.
Yeah.
Get real bull bars because I've been watching 411 or whatever it is, that one Canadian towing show. And a lot of those truckers have those bull bars, but they're not.
They're not the real ones.
No. And he can't even pull them up the hill with the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going to get something, I'll have something that'll really work.
Yeah, right. Have you ever seen a moose get hit?
Oh, my God, yes.
They'll tear the whole roof off your car.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So my dad saw a few of them. He drove truck for 15 years.
Yeah.
And he saw a few of them. He said, it's insane.
Yep. Them things are big.
Yeah, my wife's
Yeah.
uncle, he's a park ranger, and they were in Alaska, and he had a route. He'd load up the, I guess at that time it was a Ford Bronco, full size Bronco thing, and he would have to travel around to all the stations, the rest stations or hiking on trails and so forth, and I guess he'd be gone for 6 weeks or whatever, driving the trails, in this thing. And he told us one time he came up on a bear and a moose fighting. And he said, man, you thought that was like a murder scene and a half, man. And he said blood and hair and body parts and all kinds of shit was everywhere, dude. He said that was one thing you did not want to drive into to see all that going on,
Oh my goodness.
No.
a bear and a moose fighting, and he said usually the moose wins. So
Yeah, I've heard those things are nasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
One night I was taking, when me and Jenny were dating, I was taking her home, and I was in the old Scout in the International, and I had 13 inches of lift with 35s on it, big old file cabinet going down the road. And all of a sudden, we pulled into her on her street, or going into her neighborhood, her parents' neighborhood. We pulled onto the street, and all of a sudden, she's like, "Deer!" And she jumps from one side of the seat all the way next, and I'm like, "Hey, I might get a little," you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, "All right, baby," and she's yelling, "Deer, deer, deer!" And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I look over, and this deer is running right beside the truck. So, like, you can roll down the window and pet this thing because it's right there. And I'm like, of course, with the Scout, I had all that done, and this is a typical. If Ray was here, he'd give me the father look, because I had a school bus motor in it, and I still run these little 9-inch drum brakes, and these 35-inch. So you're not stopping this thing, or it's not really going to get out of its way. So I'm like, trying not to run into this deer, or this deer run into me, and I'm like, keep going off the road, and I'm going further and further, and I'm trying to slow down in this thing, and finally I said I want to speed up. So I try to speed up, and the rear wheels grab a hold of the deer and swing that thing and threw it, broke the hind leg on it,
Man.
But man, that was like freaked out. She's yelling deer, and this thing just running, looking next to me. I'm like, give me the old side eye. I was like, man, get away.
Wow.
Yeah, work that thing out.
My wife doesn't holler deer anymore. Our word for deer is Bambi,
Bambi. Yeah.
because otherwise, you say deer. She said, "You could be talking to me, being
Well,
nice."
that's what I thought. And she's like,
Yeah.
deer. I'm like, what? Deer. And I'm like, what the?
And that's why we use the word Bambi whenever we see
Yeah,
one.
that's your new safe word, right? So,
That's our safe word. When we holler Bambi, watch out. Oh hell, we got 4 of them up the end in the middle of our street right now. 4 young ones. And I'm trying to figure out how in the hell to shoot them without anybody catching me.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them coming out and hitting my car.
Yeah.
they make a hell of a mess.
Oh,
There's-
yes, it will.
There's a I don't know if it's still on Netflix, like if they still have it on there, but there was a show, the Ice Road Truckers. They had one called the Outback Truckers, or Outback something, and it was
Australia?
it was everything in Australia, and it was pretty interesting. But some of the stories where they talk about the kangaroos jumping in front, and those bull bars get work, because those things jump in front all the time. And there was one where the guy's passing by a row of kangaroos, and they'll sit by the road and they'll jump into the truck. And because they're just, those kangaroos, I guess they were saying, are pretty feisty. They're nasty. And this damn thing jumped into the truck, but he caught, as the truck was going by so fast, he caught the trailer, but he went into the toolbox underneath the trailer, tore it apart. The guy had to stop, and he's walking up the road about a half mile to a mile, picking up his chains and his tools, and madder than hell, cussing and stuff. But yeah, he said those SOBs will sit on the side of the road and purposely jump into the into the thing.
Sounds like that damn dog that I had.
Just waiting.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Excitement.
Wow.
You know what else will hit you is wild turkeys.
Mm.
Yes.
The same
Yeah.
guy.
Thank you. Because everyone thinks I'm crazy when I tell my wild turkey story.
Yeah, listen, we're going to another auction, and he's behind me in the other truck, and he comes on the CB. He's like, "Did you just hit something?" I was like, "No, why?" So we pulled over. A turkey had hit the side of the truck and went into the trailer and blew apart. It was feathers everywhere, all the way back.
Wow.
Yep.
No,
Wow.
There-
That's amazing.
Yeah.
well, the one thing I haven't hit, but my friend of mine did, was a wild pig down in Texas, and he come around the corner, and that pig was in the road, and that pig wasn't going to move.
Oh,
He totaled his truck.
I haven't hit one yet, but yeah, they're more dangerous down here than the deer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bet you them will do a number.
I want to go on one of them helicopter rides and shoot them.
Why? You can just sit on my front porch.
But I
Yeah.
want to be in the helicopter hanging out the side. You know.
More about the helicopter than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that.
That would
Well,
be
it's
fun.
man.
Yeah, you
That's
can
crazy.
just set up a tripod on my front porch and shoot all you want.
Just bring your big fan out and put the fan on, and I'll think I'm in a helicopter.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, fellas, I think I'm gonna call it a night.
All right,
I
Paul.
got you.
Take care, Paul.
See, man.
Got the Model A already. We're gonna head out to Austin in the morning.
All
Wow.
right, have a safe trip.
Make sure those wheels are
Yeah.
tight.
Thanks.
Hey, just double checking, man.
Thanks.
Don't want another post.
Thanks. Yeah.
It's only because we love you, Paul.
Yes, I know that.
You know?
Talk
All
to
right,
you
have
guys
a safe
later.
trip.
Oh man.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Hey,
Keith, tell me your story with all your AC. Come on, man. What's going on? You replaced your air conditioning, and now you got window units all over the place.
I just went and bought another window unit this morning for my
Yeah?
son's room.
Mm.
I can go on for about an hour about the stupid AC. We got a new AC in 2021 just because my old one was like 15 years old. So I'm like, I'm going to get it before it breaks. So we got the new one. It lasted almost a year, and one coil the coil went bad on it. They got a replacement coil. That replacement coil had a screw hole right in one of the coils. So that had to go back. So they ordered another one. They're like, oh, it's going to be like 2 weeks to get another coil.
Uh-huh.
And I freaking gave them hell. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Whatever. We got one within a week. They put that one in. That one lasted, I think, maybe a little over a year. And that one leaked out on the, where it has a little 90-degree bends. It started
Yeah.
leaking out of there. So the guy's like, these new coils suck. They're real thin, aluminum, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I think what we can do is we can get them coated. I can't remember. It's like bronze coating or something to make it so it might not leak. Or if like he was thinking maybe sulfur was eating away at the aluminum,
Uh-huh.
solder joints and everything. I don't know. So we got it coated. That was not even a year ago. So May of last year. And now the coated coils have holes in them.
Okay.
So now
So let me ask you a couple questions. Your AC unit, how is it mounted, or where is it mounted?
it's a package unit.
Uh-huh.
So it's got, it's like it's right on the side of the house.
And there's no, I mean, is it on a concrete pad, or is it elevated, or is it
Yeah, it's on a pad like a composite pad. It's not a cement pad. It's
composite pad? Is that sitting flat on that, or is it on stands?
No, it's flat.
Okay, it's flat. Okay, it should be on stands, even though it's on the pad.
Yeah.
because there's airflow problem there. Now your discharge is coming straight up, so
Yep.
there's no overhang. It's
No.
out in the open, right?
Yeah.
And is this a heat pump version, or is it actually an AC unit?
No, it's an AC, and then it has heat strips in it for heat. Well, I'm in Florida, remember? So I barely put the heat on ever.
Right.
So,
I understand, but I mean, some of these, and then
They have
is
heat
it?
pumps, yeah.
So I don't know what your square footage of your house, but is it like at least a 3-ton unit or a 5-ton
It's
unit?
a 4-ton.
4-ton.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a 3,000 square foot house.
Okay. Yeah. So are you running? But I guess when they changed it, they changed over. Do you remember what your Freon is? Do you remember what it is? Because it should have been like originally it used to, back in the day was R22, and then it went to a funny number. Huh?
Yeah, then it was like 410. Yeah, it's
410.
Isn't it a number like 123 something? I think that is that the new one.
I think there's one that's like an H, because I think mine is like an H22 or something.
That's the old stuff. H22 or it's R22 is the old stuff. Actually, that's very ancient and it's very hard to get. And of course, if you need to replace anything, it's not compatible. The only reason why I say this because a while back ago we had a problem with when I changed my AC, and we had and what it boiled down to was the newer stuff, it didn't have enough Freon actually put in it. The guy had to really look at the gauge and the sight glass on it for that.
Looks like new stuff is R454B.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. I mean, I know there's a couple new ones out, and but we had a lot of problems with ours, and actually, I need to move mine because of my discharge. Mine's under the deck, and while I was going through them, but the biggest problem was that. Or one of the problems when it was sitting even on the concrete pad, the airflow couldn't flow through it correctly.
Yeah.
And they make you have 3, 6, there's 3-inch pads that stands that can go under that, and it'll raise it up under. And that's supposed to help with the biggest thing is airflow going through.
Yeah. Well, this
That's
time
it's
just leaked right out of where it's not even. So you have your flat surface, and then you have where the little 90-degree bend U's are. It wasn't leaking at that joint. It was leaking like on the other side of where the pipe just comes through that flat surface.
Yeah.
The guy's like, I've never seen this before. Like maybe it's vibrating or something and just cutting into the tubes.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, it could be, and that's why one thing, like I said, you have those feet with the isolated pads on them, and it could be a issue of that going on because, I sold a guy a compressor, and I said either leave it mounted to the shipping container, the board,
yeah.
Or let me know and I'll get you some isolators because the vibration will break a leg.
Yeah.
And it was yeah. What do you know? And one day he goes, "Hey man, my tank's leaking," and I'm like, "Okay." I go in and look, and cracked the weld. And I said, "Well, you need a tank." And I said, "You didn't. You took it off the pad." And you didn't put anything there, and the vibration, it just finally broke.
Yeah. I left my compressor on the wood that it came with.
Yeah.
And then it sat there for it's at the end of my shop in the garage doors there. And water gets in sometimes, and it rotted after. I go over to where they're like, "Why is it tilted?"
Yeah.
Shove another 2x4 in there.
Yep. Go get another crate, another shipping pallet, and bolt it down on top of it.
It's just one board, so I just pushed it in there, and now it's until that one rocks away.
Yeah. But that's like I said, and then the scary part is he goes, well, I'll weld it, and I'm like, I don't think so. It's not really recommended, but okay, good luck, bud.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I got 3 window units. I got one of those portable units it keeps, it had. You're supposed to take a hose and like throw it out the window or something. I had it in a 1 gallon jug, and overnight it overflowed, spilled water all over the floor. I'm like, oh my god! So now I got like a Lowe's bucket. I just put the Lowe's bucket. I fill that thing up.
Yeah.
Dump it every few hours. Maybe.
Yeah, we had one of those, and like I said, if you get it running, if you get the AC running, once you get the moisture out of the house, it won't be as much water.
Yep.
But you got to be careful. The overflow. The girls had that, and man, it was a pain in the ass.
It is a pain because even water is coming out the tube, but it must be like leaking somewhere else or more condensation somewhere else, and it's just filling the bottom tray.
Yeah.
So then that fills up, and then that starts leaking. Like I went out of my shop and I got one of my old oil drip pans.
Yep.
The big silver pans. Put that on the ground and put this thing on top of it. I'm like, all right, so if it spills again, it will contain it a little bit. It won't be spilling on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I saw your post and I was just curious because
that's the whole story.
But airflow is really big, and you got to sometimes, like I said, you got to make sure, but you must have something. I don't know if it's the salt air or something. Something must be going after that aluminum if you're leaking that much.
I have no idea. I mean, that's the first 1, 2, 3, like 3 coils got started leaking.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah. And he's like, oh, my well is over on that side, but nothing sprays. No water sprays onto it. So I don't.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, maybe the sulfur's eating it. I'm like, I'm not spraying it. I'm not boosting down my AC. So I don't know what to do.
Just
the other one.
They used to.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was just gonna say. The one that was there was 15 years old. It was working okay, but I'm like, oh, any day this thing's gonna break. So that's why I replaced it. And now I'm replacing every year.
There you go, being proactive.
Yeah. Preventive maintenance, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I wonder if people have old ones laying around, brand new, sitting around somewhere.
Who knows?
Buy an old one that's 15 years old, brand new.
Yeah, you need to go for a road test and find one sitting.
Well, the funny thing, in my shop, I have one that was in somebody's house for like 15 years, and then we put it in my shop, and that's been there for like 10 years, and it still works fine. Still chugging along.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It'll make them like they used to.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Hey guys, I'm gonna jump ship.
Hey, Lewis.
Don't hit the bridge.
Hey, were you starting to ask me something earlier?
Who?
I think we were
Probably
carrying on, and I think you started to, and we were carrying on, and it got lost in the wash.
I don't know. I'm old, bro. I don't know.
Well, if you think of anything, you can text me or
Yeah.
when you
So
send
Mr.
me a
Hall,
reel.
I missed the Speed TV thing. What you're putting the podcast on the Speed TV too now?
Yeah. So I'll be shipping all the old shows and new shows, all the best shows over to PowerTube, and they're gonna start playing the traffic on their channel.
Nice.
So,
When will that start?
Probably this week coming up, because I just sent some content over to them, so they gotta
Nice.
process it, and put it on.
But
So
they're gonna put like a link to the YouTube, or what are they?
yeah, I believe so.
Live?
Yeah, they won't have the live. We'll still do the live here,
Right.
and then they'll have all the replays over there. So I'll do like the best shows that we have, the best guests or best topics. Because we have a lot of good topics just with the fellas here.
Yeah.
So I'll be putting those on too.
Yeah,
Awesome.
460 subscribers. Need 40 more, I think, than something, right? 500.
Yeah, 500. So yeah, message everybody you know and tell them we need to get to 500 quick.
Yeah, really need to get the 1,000, then you can start.
1,000.
monetizing.
That's when you start monetizing. Yeah. Now they just changed that to do the 500 that like recently.
That's what I thought. That's why I thought 500 was the new number.
Yeah, but the problem with us here is when you go live, it doesn't go into the videos, so I have to go in and switch them over the videos. But I have like a ton of hours, watch hours, like 60,000 watch hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it's not getting my subscribers up because I'm not,
Right.
you know, I got to do a lot of work. So once I retire, I'll be doing this more full time.
So that'd be good. So once you hit the subscribers, you already have the views. So the views,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about that. So you think what is it still 4,000 hours or something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
when you gotta eat and you gotta go to work, so that takes away time from the fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
So
I have a whole bunch
Eating's
of videos
fun.
I have recorded that I don't have time to edit.
yeah, it takes a long time. People don't really understand, man.
Yeah.
20 minutes of video takes you 5 hours to edit.
Yeah, and when I'm videoing, I'm videoing thinking, all right, I don't want to edit. You know, I don't want to have. It's the worst thing is setting up the camera and then just having it. All right, I'm gonna do all this work because then you have to watch through all that footage and get what you want. So now I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna do this here. Look, I'm doing this, and then I stop recording. You know, come back, try to think ahead,
Yeah,
so I don't have so much editing to do.
it's a process. It really is.
Yeah, it's a pain because for me, like I said, you start that. I've done it both ways where you just let it run and go do something, and then you have like so much to go through. Or even then, my problem is you start doing that and you like tape. I mean, you know, you record and stop recording. Man, you never get anything done because you're spending so much time playing around, or you
It takes
don't want to get
time.
dirty, you know?
Yeah, it takes twice as long to do anything.
Yeah.
It took me like
Yep.
2 weeks to do a field pump. That was re-recording, doing it when I, you know, the time when I had to do it, you know, like in the morning, at night. I'm just like,
Yeah, it was funny. And it usually happens because, like the other day, I did the fuel filters on the tool truck. And, you know, of course, I get all the Matco tools out, laid out, and I'm doing this. And I'm like starting. And then I get done and realize I didn't even turn the thing on. And I'm like, screw it. It's done.
yeah, you're like, forget it. Yeah, I'm not going back.
I'm
Go
like,
fake it.
you know, get the little tripod out, you get it all set up, you got all looking pretty. And I'm like doing like making sure like when I'm using the ratchet, like you can see the Matco, you know, I'm like trying to do all that. And I realized I didn't even hit the record button. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm like, Jesus.
Yep.
That was a good trial run.
Yep.
So I'm gonna log off. I don't
Okay.
know, Brian. How long does it stay on when I'm gone?
It stays on until we log off.
So I wonder
We
if it's
can't-
cut off by.
We can't bring anybody. So like when Ray's here,
Ray can bring somebody
we
on.
can bring
but whoever's
somebody
here
in if
is
they
here.
come on later. But whoever's here is here, and we can stay on. There was last time Ray wasn't able to be on. Me and Brian stayed on for like another hour or two.
Yeah, after 12. I mean, when
Yeah, we
everybody
were
when
on
everybody
for quite a
logged off, we were still on.
Mhm. All right.
So,
Well, I'll leave you guys on. I'm gonna end the stream though.
yep.
Later, Terry.